Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. So I'm Enamul Hafiz Latifee, Research Fellow currently working with Bangladesh Association of Software Information Services. So basically the first question was about the outlook of the ICT industry, right?
Sorry.
Yes, no problem with that. So here in Bangladesh, we can divide the ICT ecosystem mainly in three parts or three major actors actually, which is firstly dominated by the software services, software and ITES services, that is number one. And the second one is the hardware part, the hardware manufacturers. And the third one is the e-commerce, we can say, or online-based commerce. So apart from this institutional arrangement of the businesses related to ICT, there is a part of individual freelancers which are who are actually integrated to the international value chain at some levels. So going to the outlook of the ICT industry again. So first of all, I would like to visit the export numbers of ICT industry from the service sector, software and IT service. So from that part, we have been able to export around US dollar 1.4 billion in the last fiscal year. Obviously, that does vary with the government source, which states that it was about $592 million last year. However, the growth rate between the government agency, government reporting agency is the Export Promotion Bureau. So their growth rate and our growth rate, the yearly growth rate of the software and IT-enabled services is almost same. So 30%, it ranges year to year, 30 percentage points to 100 percentage points sometimes. And so that is the export outlook right now at this moment. And regarding the local market, if we touch upon, it is about $1.6 billion equivalent market share that the Bangladeshi companies are holding in Bangladesh actually. Not the other parties, but I mean other country businesses, but Bangladeshi local businesses are holding right now at this moment. And considering this as a success actually, because if just a decade ago, the export value and also the local market share was like near only 30 million. So from $30 million to 1.4 billion just in a decade, it is a miraculous thing for Bangladesh. So considering this contribution, our Honorable Prime Minister has just declared ICT products and services as the product of the year in this year, January 1st, to inspire the entrepreneurs of ICT sector and also to primarily boost the export of ICT as a whole and very specifically ICT products and services. This announcement actually came as a part of Bangladesh export policy, national export policy. So all these things are actually going forward in a very integrated way, in coordination between the private sector and also the private public sector. And the second thing, what will be the impact of LDC graduation if I would address about that. Before going to that, I just would like to mention that honoring the call of Honorable Prime Minister, we, the basis, tried to come up with 7 pillars to accelerate the export at an exponential rate actually. So we tried to start doing some plannings and pursuing some activities related to our HR capacity, ICT human resource capacity development, because that is related to productivity increase and some other sorts of things. We have identified to work with the startup ecosystem, and also we know that also it is related to the LDC graduation and post-LDC era, which is the intellectual property rights. So starting today to work with the international standards to sensitize all the actors about the international IPR exercises. And also we are working with the local market development and also foreign market developments, starting from our level to advocate the government to go for some negotiations with foreign partners for integrating the service sector and especially the ICT sector in the possible future FTS, which was actually quite missing in the primary discussions, while we have seen from the government level that they were actually considering only the product manufacturing sector. And we know that service sector actually plays quite a good role in the these FTA negotiations right now at this moment. So considering all these things, we think that after the graduation, there will be surely a transformative period which we'll have to be aware about right now at this moment. However, the direct impact could be there is a export subsidy for the ICT product manufacturing sector, which is about 10%. And we know that under the WTO Article 3 of subsidies and countervailing duties agreement. So according to that, we would not be able to provide any direct cash incentive support. So that could be a direct blow to the ICT product manufacturing sector. How we will actually offset that, or rather we could think of providing the same sort of fiscal allocation to the R&D and industry promotion activities of the overall ICT industry. That could be thought of. So this is the first thing. And the second thing could be there is a high, if you see, again, there is a high input duty on the similar products, ICT products, which has been recently devised in the through the actually national budget declaration of this year. So it cannot be actually continued after 2026. So that is another challenge for the ICT manufacturing sector, I would say. So that has been actually, I mean, if we want to use that buzzword to protect the local industry, ICT manufacturing industry, some protective measures were taken, which is a bit good until 2026, but what after 2026? That is a great question for us to answer actually right now at this moment. And but for the service, ICT service sector, that is not the case actually, because we are already exporting to 137 countries our services. Even it includes Japan, US, and even the more interesting point is we export more to the advanced economies actually.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
What are the services that you export? When you say ICT export, could be many things. No, but the ICT service exports, what are those services?
Starting from software development, web development, data analytics products to artificial intelligence. I mean, there are a list of 32 at least kind of ICT services that we are actually providing.
These are public available data, correct?
Right.
It would be nice if, for example, you
right.
share with us.
Sure. There is actually a definition given by the Bangladesh government. What does the ITES means and what falls under that export. So that is publicly available and declared by the National Board of Revenue. So I can share surely. I would love to. Yeah, pleasure. So we are exporting. I mean, US is our top export destination, followed by United Kingdom and the European region, and then comes, very interestingly, India, and after that, Japan. So we know that India is also the largest ICT exporter in the world, but we're exporting to that country as well. So that means that ICT service sector has already been able to catch the eyes of the global business leaders, and also is very much able, skill-wise, to cater the world market. So for us, none of this would be the actual problem, but the problem would be for us. Sorry to accept and share that in Bangladesh, possibly we know that we were actually been enjoying some exemptions and waiver from IPR of the WIPO's agreement. So we used to use the cracked versions of many softwares. So that could not actually take place further. We know it very well. So that could be a very big blow for us, because to reintroduce our machines with the licensed and certified softwares and everything. So maybe it could take up to redesign our machines at the cost wise, it can go up to $5,000 per machine. So, which is quite a bit very costly for some entrepreneurs and growing economy like us, because most of the ICT service players are actually SMEs and MSMEs actually, micro, small and medium. So that could be a challenge for us. And the third point, what is the role of the ICT industry in achieving Bangladesh's vision of middle income country by 2030? So we again, from basis, we have tried to take some sort of term-wise action points from basis, and it represents the private sector actually. But from us, what we forecasted that given our 7 pillars and 7 priority areas are implemented, then the export of the ICT software and services would go up to 10 billion by 2030, and before that 5 billion by 2025 and 20 billion by 2041. That is our forecast model says, given the 7 priority areas are completely implemented in coordination between private sector and the public sector. However, there are many challenges, because currently if we look at the job creation or the how much, because the raw materials of the ICT software and service sector is actually not any kind of production or anything else, but the skilled human resource that can be treated as the primary source of generating revenues. We are currently nationally producing only 20,000 ICT engineers, where we need actually right now at this moment 30 or 35 plus thousand ICT graduates per year. So while we are talking about to reach 10 billion or 20 billion, it means we have to produce 10 times, if not 10 times, at least 5 times or something like that. So our education system is not ready. So that is the very big challenge for us, and also to achieve the other national visions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.